छू छू छू। हे नमस्ते फीजी, आपके हर एक प्रॉब्लम की दवा लेकर मैं आ गई हूँ 9 से 12 बजे तक आपकी सहेली रेनू। छू छू छू। 40 में 20 का दिखना है। मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे। मिर्ची इट्स हॉट।
In this bulletin, discrepancies found in military accounts for 2007. Poor record keeping highlighted in 2010 audit of Fiji police force. And Lands Ministry begins work on formalizing squatter settlements. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. Overdrawn accounts and overspending were just some of the revelations about the Fiji military forces recorded in the Auditor General's reports that were tabled in Parliament on Friday. Ellen Stahls reports.
The Fiji military force has been cited for ignoring policies and procedures in government financial rules and regulations in 2007. The Auditor General's report in 2007 says this resulted in the over-expenditure of $4.5 million that year. The report says although Cabinet approved the over-expenditure, the Ministry of Finance failed to validate the over-expenditures. No funds to offset the over-expenditures were deployed in the budgetary allocations for the RFMF. Meanwhile, in 2010, operating trust fund accounts were overdrawn to the tune of $5.6 million. The audit reports on government ministries and departments in 2010 also shows that 37 discharged officers continued to get paid. Some officers were also paid lodging allowances while occupying government quarters, but were not charged rent by the force. A total of 29 volumes of the Auditor General report will take some time to analyze and sift through. But as far as the RFMF records go, some explaining needs to be done as to how these discrepancies will be resolved. Ellen Stahls, FBC News.
The 2010 audit of the Fiji Police Force has identified a number of issues. Its drawing account closing balance was about $660,000, but according to the Financial Management Information System, there should have been over $10 million in the account. Ritika Pratap has more.
The 2010 audit has found the Fiji Police Force operating trust fund account was overdrawn by more than $111,000. The force was not able to provide any details on accumulated surplus placed in the account with credit balance of over $12 million as at December 2010. The report says some officers continued to receive salaries after their effective dates of resignations, dismissals or directives to stop payments of salaries due to delays in ceasing the payment of salaries. The Auditor General's report also states proper procedures were not followed for recruiting 64 special constables in 2010. It also says proper procedures and guidelines governing the procurement of goods and services were not followed when procurements were made. Local purchase orders were not issued and funds were used for purposes other than was approved for. The report states some payment vouchers were missing, while some payments were made on the strength of photocopied or pro forma invoices. Payments for meals were made without adequate details such as number of suspects, suspects' names, report numbers, and the cost of meal. Police officers were accommodated in hotels or transfer for up to 2 weeks, in some cases resulting in extravagant hotel bills for the force. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The Parliamentary Standing and Select Committees are yet to be finalised by the Speaker of the House. Secretary-General to Parliament Viniana Namosi-Malua says they are still accepting nominations for the formation of 6 Parliamentary Standing Committees and 4 Select Committees. Namosi Malua says once all nominees are submitted, only then will formal notifications be sent out. The establishment of the committees is articulated in Standing Order 115, which was tabled in the first Parliament on the 6th of October. Meanwhile, the government has submitted member names for one Parliamentary Select Committee, while the opposition has submitted all their nominees for both the Standing and Select Committees. Parliament resumes on the 21st of November. Squatters on state land will be given 99-year leases, a promise in the Fiji First Manifesto, which the government is now working on to deliver. Watisoni Raikandroka has more.
The Lands Ministry has identified 15 informal settlements which will be developed from January to be leased to squatters.
The aim is to develop these squatter settlements to a level where they can actually get their own leases, 99-year leases. That's our intention. It's a big project. We're already putting into strategies now, plans on how we're going to tackle this from January 1st next year.
Mayor Winuwanga says they can't develop all squatter settlements at once, and this has to be a progressive exercise. The development will include the proper subdivision of land and access to utilities like water and electricity.
There's about 64 squatter settlements altogether on state land. 14 of those are being looked after by the Ministry of Local Government and squatter resettlement. The 50 is under this ministry. That's the 50 squatter settlements that I'm talking about.
It's not going to be easy. The minister says they first have to see the condition of the squatter settlements and what developments have taken place on state land.
They're all at different levels of development. Some of them have been done illegally, the subdivision of them. So obviously they are much easier to deal with than others which has no development done at all. Different stages of development, and it'll take a bit of work on our part. So we're looking forward to starting that off.
There are also plans for squatters living on land administered by municipal councils and the Itoke Land Trust Board. Minister Mayor Winuwanga says there will be wide-ranging discussions on this issue. Watisoni Raikandroka, FBC News.
Coming up, Fijians get in the spirit of Diwali, decked out in their best and brightest.
If you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker.
Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Agricultural losses from the prolonged dry spell are estimated at $7 million. The Ministry of Agriculture came up with this figure after assessing those parts of Fiji, mostly in the west, which haven't had much rain. Christopher Chand reports.
Farmers are suffering this year due to the drought, which has had a huge impact on our agricultural produce.
Definitely, our estimation was around $6.57 million, the damages that can be sustained through the drought.
Although there's been some light rain in affected areas, it has done little to help. What is needed to make a change in the dry spell are consistent and substantial amounts of rainfall. Light showers aren't enough.
Total recovery of crops is not possible. Because of the impact of the dry spell that had happened. For vegetables, we are fortunate that Singatoka Valley had received some, and we've introduced a few pumps, mobilized the teams, get in irrigation. So the recovery period for vegetables should be around 3.5 months. We should see vegetables back on the market.
Root crops have been affected the worst, in particular Ndalo, which is estimated to recover in about 8 months.
And that is too long. But the ministry is coming up with strategies on how we can shorten that period, distribution of planting material to the farmers, for them to try and recover as quickly as possible and meet the local and the export market demand.
Farmers in the Western and Northern Division have been affected by this problem. The ministry says they've started assisting livestock farmers, and rehabilitation for those affected are ongoing. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
The Ministry of Youth is in the final stages of reviewing the National Youth Policy. As Shireen Lata reports, the review is expected to be completed by the end of the year.
The review of existing youth policies began 2 years ago and was to be complete last month.
Giving the space to the youths for their voices to be heard, and also introducing the National Youth Policy, and also give them time to give in the inputs to the youth policy, in which it will be a governing structure or assistance for any youth development in Fiji.
National Youth Council President William Egudake says the review is much needed.
As time changes, policy has to be up to date with the current trend.
The National Youth Council has recently visited communities in Nandronga Navosa, Nandimba, Lautoka, Tavua, Rakiraki and the Central Eastern Division, taking views from people in the grassroots. The council is yet to conduct such forums in the Northern Division.
The 6th forum, we will again conduct another 3 days seminar, in which we will gather a few representatives from the 6 forums with collaboration with stakeholders, with assistance from Pacific Center for Peace Building and UNDP to finalize the youth policy.
The current policy works in line with the Roadmap for Democracy and Sustainable Socio-Economic Development 2009 to 2014 and the government reforms and initiatives taken for the sustainable development of youth in Fiji. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
A survey by Save the Children Fiji has revealed more children in the Northern Division are malnourished than the Central Division. Foundation CEO Racheli Nicole says, despite Fiji's abundant vegetable-producing environment, many children are underweight. She added that stakeholders should disseminate a coherent and consistent message to communities about taking care of children's health.
It's an area of concern. You have lots of access to land here. There's access, to vegetables. But why is it that children are not getting that food? And that the message of children's health is not only something that we pay attention to during drought-like conditions.
The foundation surveyed 22 communities, half of them in the Northern Division. Staff at government ministries and departments got into the spirit of Diwali today, decked out in their best attire. On the eve of one of the biggest festivals in the Hindu calendar, Fijians of all backgrounds are united in celebration. Chanel Sivan visited some offices in Suva today.
Happy Diwali!
The Ministry of Tourism and Public Enterprise was the first ministry we visited today. The Minister for Tourism Fayaz Khoya, Assistant Minister Lorna Eden and the Finance Minister Ayaz Syed Khayoum were hosted by the staff with a fun-filled program. The message to the staff from the Attorney General was to put others before self.
Please remember that the decisions you make actually has an impact sometimes on hundreds of thousands of people. In the same way, for example, a person who may be sitting there and not approving a particular application, you may actually be stopping hundreds of jobs.
As we look forward to celebrations tomorrow, civil servants have been reminded they must serve all Fijians with diligence.
Our Prime Minister has said that Fiji is right on a path now. We've never been united than ever before, and this is a wonderful time to be Fijian. And so let's all take advantage of it and wish everybody a very, very happy Diwali.
The Ministry of Tourism and Trade also put up a Diwali spread today for the staff and ministers.
Happy Diwali!
Happy Diwali. Please enjoy the spirit of inclusiveness of the Festival of Light.
Enjoy.
Enjoy Diwali, this Diwali. Hope the weather gets better. But please be very cautious when handling fireworks and firecrackers, especially around your children.
Enjoy the spirit of Diwali, like Fijians tend to do. All citizens coming under one family, enjoying with close friends and family, and caring for this spirit.
It wasn't just the capital city that got in the Diwali spirit. The whole country was a sea of vibrant colors.
Oh, I spent nearly $1,000 for my Diwali. I bought saris for my wife and clothes for my kids and some firecrackers. I feel very happy this Diwali.
Because of Diwali, the business is alright, and Happy New Year and Happy Diwali to all of you.
Happy Diwali!
I want to wish every citizen of this country a very happy Deepavali, particularly to all the parents and students. This is an opportunity to reach out to those unfortunate who probably are not able to celebrate Deepavali today or tomorrow, as we are able to do so.
I wish you all a very happy and a healthy Diwali. May Goddess Lakshmi bless you all with good health and happiness in abundance.
Hindus today are celebrating Dhanteras, the first day of the 5-day Diwali festival. According to traditional beliefs, business premises are renovated and decorated. Entrants are made colorful with traditional motifs of Rangoli designed to welcome the goddess of wealth and prosperity. Chanal Shivan, FBC News.
Beautiful messages there, and on that note, Jamie joins us now with the latest in sports.
Definitely, Jackie. Good evening. After the break, Rugby League's Fiji residents prepare to host touring Aborigine side, and Vodafone Arena undergoes upgrade work ahead of FIBA tournament. Stay with us for more.
देश की धड़कन मेरी फिजी 2 का प्रसारण कार्यक्रम में आपका स्वागत हम कर रहे हैं। सुंदर ये मौसम और ऐसे मौसम बहार में आप भी कार्यक्रम का आनंद उठा रहे हैं, आपको शामिल कर रहे हैं और साथ में
गुड मॉर्निंग आपको हम कहना चाहेंगे। अगर www.fbc.com.fj पर आप हमें सुन रहे हैं, हम सफर प्रोग्राम आपके लिए जारी है। सुबह 9 बजे तक हम आपका साथ देंगे। गुड मॉर्निंग आपको।
अपने दिन की शुरुआत हमारे साथ कीजिए। रेडियो फिजी 2 पर हम सफर प्रोग्राम हर सुबह 6 से 9 बजे तक। जॉइन अस।
Top local rugby league players will get their first taste of international competition when the Fiji residents host the touring Muri Aborigine side this weekend. The home players have been handpicked from the Vodafone Cup competition in a move aimed at enlarging the local player base. Chalen Daudakadaka reports.
A grand opportunity has been presented to these local rugby league players as they prepare to tackle the Muri Aborigine side. The whole team is made up of players that stood out during the Vodafone Cup competition earlier this season and will now pit their skills against tougher opposition.
These players, they've been consistent throughout the year. They are all new players into this stage of competition or match.
The visitors played local club Makoi Bulldogs at Lawanga Park yesterday, losing 2016. Vunivere watched that game and has identified areas he will exploit in the opposition's defense.
We're weak in the fringes or at the edges, so we'll hit them. We'll play the same game plan like the Makoi Bulldogs are playing. We'll play them in the middle, then we'll go out for our flyers outside.
The match starts at 3 p.m. on Saturday at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. Talendo Dakavak, FBC Sports.
More international events will be hosted at the Vodafone Arena in the near future, with upgrade work currently underway for the 2014 FIBA Under-19 Basketball Championships. It is highly likely the venue is to become one of a kind in the Pacific. The main focus of the upgrading has been the venue's flooring.
This tournament gives us the chance to repair the floor. I think this is the first of its kind since the floor was put down in 2003. So this tournament gave us the opportunity to do that.
Apart from the flooring, the backboards, the scoreboards and other upgrades are currently underway. Fiji will host the entire 2014 OFC Champions League football competition to be played in April. This was decided at the Oceania Football Confederation executive meeting held in New Zealand over the weekend, with games to be played in Ba and Suva. Fiji will be represented at the tournament by Suva and Ba. Vanuatu will have Amical and Tafea, while Team Wellington and Auckland City will fly the New Zealand flag. Other teams for the tournament will be confirmed by the end of the year. 185 swimmers will be spending their Diwali holiday at the National Aquatic Centre in Suva tomorrow for the short course age group nationals. Officials are expecting some stiff competition right across the lanes as swimmers look to establish their personal best times in the final competition of the year.
I'd also like to welcome to Fiji the Taniwha Levi team from Samoa and also our new Great White Shark Club from Lautoka as well. Over the next 3 days, we'll be hosting the BSP Short Course Age Group National Swim Competition in Suva, which will see basically 9 clubs competing with 1 club from Samoa, with a total of 185 swimmers in 991 individual events and, of course, 148 events that they'll be participating in.
Meanwhile, BSP Bank made a $5,000 donation in cash and kind for the competition.
We have a vested interest in sport. We are the major sponsors for the Port Moresby Pacific Games in July next year, and therefore it's in our interest to be involved in as many minor sports as possible to get as many Fiji athletes up to Papua New Guinea, which is head office for us as well. So we are happy to be supporting Fiji swimming not only in this event, but in an event early next year as well, before the Pacific Games.
The heat will begin at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow, with the finals to be held at 3 p.m. on Saturday. The Four Nations Rugby League competition is shaping up to be one of the strongest ever, with Australia, New Zealand, England and Samoa taking part. Defending champions Australia has lost Jared Hayne to his pursuit of an NFL contract, but have another superstar who will be key to their defense. Here's more from the NRL TV. And that was your sports for tonight. I'll be back again tomorrow evening. Until then, have yourselves a safe and happy Diwali. Good evening.
Suva City has been a hive of activity with tourists every week. Council Special Administrator Chandu Maria says 30 cruise ships berthed in Suva's port from January 2014 to date, and another 13 are expected by December this year. Maria says cruise ships in the capital has given the community new life and creates opportunities for entrepreneurs to establish new services and products or facilities that would not be sustainable based on the local population of residents. He says discussions have been in progress with a tourist boat company, Princess Yasawa, that has chosen Suva as one of its destinations for tourist visits. Weather time with a lovely and bright Trish.
Wow, another beautiful Diwali outfit today, Jackie.
Thanks so much, Trish. I love yours.
Thank you. Now on to today's conditions. Savu and Suva got the rain wanted in the west today, while Nandi, Lotokamba and Lambasa had brief showers in the afternoon. Suva and Savu got the heaviest rain. Temperatures were of course cooler in the east. Suva 27 and Savu 29, while Nandi and Lautoka reached 30 and Ba and Lambasa hit 32. Tomorrow's forecast: cloudy skies with much needed scattered showers throughout the day. For mariners, expect southeast winds 15 to 20 knots and moderate to rough seas. This is our image of the day, sent in by one of our very own, Rochelle Van Rowan. May you all have yourself an awesome Deepawali.
Thanks so much for that. Recapping our main stories. Discrepancies found in military accounts for 2007, poor record keeping highlighted in 2010 audit of Fiji Police Force, and Lands Ministry begins work on formalizing squatter settlements and issuing leases. This week's poll question we're asking: are real estate prices in Fiji realistic? Visit our FBC website to take part, www.fbc.com.fj. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And on the eve of Diwali, from the FBC News team, we'd like to wish you all a happy Diwali. Have fun with the fireworks, but please do stay safe. Till tomorrow at the same time, Nimo Demanda.
Great words there from Lucky Dube and Babana. Hope you enjoyed that number. Different colors just for you. On Gold FM, only the classic hits. Louise with you on the Center Show. Well, thank you so much for the sweet company. This is Alana Miles, one of my favorites, and Black Velvet for you. Hi there. Join me on the Center Show every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the best sounds on Gold FM. Only the classic hits.